For the first one, we have multiple logs. They have the same base, base 6, and we're subtracting them, which means we can combine this into one log. So we're going to make this log base 6. What's going to go in the numerator? 18. And what's going to go in the denominator? The 3. Why is the 3 in the denominator? Because of the negative right there. But what is 18 divided by 3? Is 6, and anytime we have log with a base of the same value of the base, then this equals 1. All right, the next one's tricky because we have a product of logs, right? And so we don't have any properties for that. And then we have two separate bases. But what is nice is we can change the base to whatever we want. So let's say we're going to change it to log base 10, so just the common log, right? How do I change log base 3 of 7? It's going to be using change of base. We're going to have log of 7 over log of 3. So that's change of base. So I changed it to log base 10. I don't need to write the 10 because it's a common log. All right, times, and we're going to change the base for this log. So it's a quotient of logs. And what's going to go on the top? 9. What goes on the bottom? The 7. So it's always log of the number over log of the base. What is really convenient right here? The log base 7s cancel out. Log base 7 divided by log base 7 is 1. Okay. Now, log base 9. How can we rewrite the 9? 3 squared. So this becomes log of 3 squared over, and we still have this log of 3. Okay. But now what rule can we use? Starts with a P. Power rule, good. So we can bring this 2 in front. So we have 2 log of 3 over log of 3. And why is that convenient? Because what happens here? The log 3's cancel out, and what's left over? 2. So the answer is 2. Okay. So it's weird because it starts out as a simple product, but this is a pretty challenging problem because we're really using 3 properties. We're using the change of base property. We're using the change of base property. We're using the power property. Just 2 properties. I lied. Yeah. All right, but that's still pretty tough, right? This last one here. Okay, what can we do first? We can combine these 2 logs here. So we're using the log properties. Look at, we have a difference of 2 logs. So this is really 5 to the log base 5. And since the first log is positive, 2 is on top. The second log is negative, 7 is on bottom. And now we have an exponential expression where we have 5 raised to the log base 5. And when that happens, what is the answer? 2 over 7. Okay, so when these 2 match, whatever you're taking the log of is going to end up being the answer. Okay, so for the next part, example 5 here, we're still going to be using properties. We're going to really focus on the product and quotient properties, and we're going to put in the power property here and there as well. And let's take a look at the directions here. We are given that log base 7 of 2 is A, log base 7 of 3 is B, and what they want us to do is they want us to change these logs so that it's only in terms of A's and B's. Okay, so we're not going to have a log anymore. We're only going to have A and B. All right. The trick to this problem is noticing what we are taking the logs of. I'm taking the log of 2. I'm taking the log of 3. Okay, now the convenience of knowing that is as we do these problems, we're trying to rewrite the logs in terms of 2's and 3's. Okay, so when we look at 6, okay, we have 1 log. Anytime you have 1 log, If we're changing it, the only way to change it is if we have a product or a quotient. Okay, so with 6, is there any way we can change 6 so that it's a product or quotient using 2's and 3's?
2 times 3?
So log base 7 of 2 times 3. Okay, now once we have that, how can we now rewrite this? Log base 7 of 2. Because we have a product here, are we going to add or subtract?
Add.
We're going to add. Products you add, quotients, anything on the bottom you subtract.
Log base 7 of 3.
Plus log base 7 of 3. But what is log base 2 equal to? Log base 7 of 2 equals A, and log base 7 of 3 equals B. So this is B. So your final answer is just A plus B. See how that works? Okay. 8. How could we rewrite 8? The number 8 in terms of 2's and 3's. 2 to the what power? 2 to the third. Good. So log base 7 of 2 to the third. Okay. What can we do with that 3? Bring it in front. What is that rule called? Power rule. Okay. But what is log base 7 of 2? A. So this is really just 3A. Okay. How can we rewrite 4 over 27? 2 squared over 3 cubed, and now what? What do we call this when we're dividing two things? Starts with a Q. Quotient. And if you have the log of a quotient, how can we rewrite it? Subtraction. So we have one log. We're going to subtract multiple logs now. Okay, so we're going to expand it. So this becomes log base 7. Log base 7. What's going to go here? 2 squared. What about this? Plus or minus? Minus 3. 3 cubed. Why minus? Because it's in the denominator in the bottom here. Good. What rule can we use here?
The 2 and 3 come up front. Move the 2 from the front.
Yep, power rule. Yep. 2 log base 7 of 2 minus, bring this in front, 3 log base 7 of 3. So the answer is 2A minus 3B. Good job. Okay, and then